I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly.
Welcome, football fans, USFL fans, but most importantly, Houston Gamblers fans to Gamblers Table Talk. Today, I am so happy to be talking to one of my favorite players on the team, one of my favorite defenders in the league right now, J.T. Tyler. J.T., how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. How you doing?
Dude, I am fantastic. I've been trying to get you on the show for a couple weeks now, and I apologize. My schedule has been crazy. My fiance wanted to go on a cruise for her birthday, so we did that for a weekend. So it's just been real crazy, but I'm so happy to get you on. Like I told you before the show, some of your family members followed me once I made you my player of the week after I think it was week 6. You have 5 pass breakups. Absolutely, like, people do not respect how hard it is to have pass breakups. 5 pass breakups is a ridiculous stat. So you're out there quietly becoming the best, let's say the best coverage linebacker, hands down, but you can also lay a smack. But we'll get into how you can do that. Now, you're from Michigan. So was it awesome getting to go up to Michigan to play a game against, what was it, the Stars?
Yeah, that was fun. Because I literally, all of my family and like church family, and then my girlfriend and her family came out. It's just, I was surrounded by family, and then it was a dream to play in Ford Field, honestly. Because I had the opportunity to in high school, but never like actually played because we made it to states. But just actually playing inside like Ford Field, it was like surreal. And so just like having like my parents in the stands too, and like everybody that's ever supported me, it was a great experience.
So I take it you were a Lions fan growing up.
Yeah, sadly I still am. Actually, I'm a Lions fan proudly because they did well last year. They did pretty good.
They did okay. I'm a diehard Minnesota Vikings fan myself. I apologize.
Straight. They're straight.
At least not Packers, right?
I actually have a conflicting like interest because I love the Packers. Love the Packers. I hate to say that, but like,
this interview's over. I apologize. How do you love the Packers? What?
He's him.
Dude.
And then
I respect him, but like, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
Feel it. But he's him. He is him.
Dang. Okay, so grew up a Lions fan. You brought up that you almost got to play there in high school. You didn't?
Yeah. So like my freshman year in high school, you know how they bring up like JV players if you're good enough
to fill out the roster.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we ended up making it to states one year. And then I don't know, it was like a close game at first, and then like things got out of hand, and like usually they were getting people on the field and stuff just to say they were on the field. Unfortunately, I was not a part of that rotation. And after that, we still hadn't won states or been back to states until recently. But like while I was a part of the program, we didn't. And so I was like kind of bummed out about that. And I went to school in New Jersey. So like I was like, I'm never going to see Ford Field unless I make it to the NFL. But like, I got, this USFL gig, which is awesome. And then I didn't even know we were going to play there until the beginning of the season when they told me that we were playing the Philly Stars like away. And so I was super hyped about that.
Oh, yeah. So you had that one circled on the calendar.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, talking about your high school, I'm first of all very, very glad that you got to go play at Ford Field when you didn't get to in high school. But it kind of blows me away that you didn't get to in high school because you were apparently the athlete at, what was it called? Detroit Country Day High School?
Yeah, Detroit Country Day.
That is a long name.
Yeah, that is a long name. DCDS, we used to call it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Well, so let's go over what you did there. You led the baseball team to a district title. You lettered in basketball. You were a 2-time captain for both football and baseball. First team All-State honors while playing defensive end, outside linebacker, running back, and fullback. Did you hand out water at halftime and orange slices too? Like, what did you not do for this team?
That team was fun. It was really just like a group of best friends just like playing the game. And so like that just made it that much more fun. And like I was willing to do like everything. And plus our coach, our head coach, Coach McLean, one of the most genuine guys I've ever like had coach me, other than like my position coach in college, Coach Mendenhall. But you wanted to play for the guy, and like you wanted to give like your all. Like at one point we were short on O lineman. I was like, Coach, like if you need it, like I'm here. So like it was just I just enjoyed playing the game, especially with those group of guys.
That's great. So when you say DN, outside linebacker, running back, and fullback, was it like you filled in a little bit here and there and you mostly played linebacker, or what you literally just every game you were playing those positions?
Like majority of the time I played DN, and then like you had to play both. You had to go both ways in high school. So I played running back depending on like downs, and then mostly fullback just to clear the way for our running backs because they were faster. But you know, they couldn't hit like the kid, but like it was okay though. Like I was fine with it.
How big was your graduating class in high school?
I have no idea, but it wasn't like a huge class because at the end of each year we'll have like a little outing and we'll go to Lucky Strike and like have like a thing, like an all night little party. So it was like a good handful of us that graduated together, but nothing like crazy.
Was it, did you go to a big high school? Because you said that you had to play both sides of the ball, and that feels like a smaller school.
Yeah, it was like I don't really know like how many total, but like it was not ginormous. Like it wasn't like a big public school because it was a private school.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm getting what you're putting down because I graduated with a class of 750 kids. So like we had so many people that you did not have to play both ways, which I'm very thankful for because I had no hands. So corner was my game. But dang, I just can't believe you did all that. And also to do all that and academically be prolific enough that you were not only recruited by Princeton, where you ended up going, but also Central Michigan, Western Michigan, and offered by Harvard. Dude, what? That's so incredibly impressive that you had two different Ivy League schools offer and you got to pick between Princeton and Harvard. Like, I'm glad I didn't know you in high school because my dad would be like, why couldn't you be like JT? But what made you choose Princeton over Harvard?
It was just like the feeling of being there around the guys and like the coaching staff. Like I already knew I had wanted to go to Princeton when I first stepped on campus. Like the campus is beautiful. And then when I actually like met with the guys and like talked to them and hung out with them, I just felt like I was already part like on the team. And I had never like felt that before, especially like away from home. And like I had gone to like other visits and stuff like that, but like, you know, you just felt like kind of like scum or basically like a fly on the wall type situation. But like I've included in conversations and like just to talk. I don't know. I just felt welcomed, and especially the coach, Coach Race. He was very welcoming of me and my parents, and so we had great conversation there too. And I was like, yeah, this is home. It's got to be.
That's awesome. I read in an interview that you did. I told you earlier. There's like a lot of articles about you from Princeton. You told the kid who wrote the article that when you toured, you felt like you were home when you walked into the locker room.
Yeah.
And I think that says just a lot about, you know, a football program to be able to cultivate that kind of culture that someone who just walked into it feels it immediately. That says a lot. And I don't know if you knew this, but Princeton is the most winning Ivy League school. So
Shout out them boys, you know,
there's got to be some kind of correlation there. But you go there, you end up in your career won 3 Ivy League championship titles, which is crazy. Congratulations on graduating, by the way. I saw you graduated and you made sure you had all 3 of those rings on.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, first of all. But you also are the runner-up for the Bushnell Cup winner, and then you end up winning it the next year. Like, dude, I don't know if you noticed. Have you ever watched any of the USFL games back?
Yeah, I've watched a couple. And then my parents were watching actually, and they told me, and also my girlfriend told me, She said, they said that you were defensive player of the year. I was like, in college, right? And they were like, yeah, yeah. I was like, how did they even find that out?
Dude, they bring it up every single game. They say every time you have when you got your interception, one of the pass breakups, you got in, you got a tackle for loss. Every time, like the first time you do something big in a game, they're like, and that's JT Tyler out of Princeton. He won the defensive player of the year in the Ivy League.
Love this.
And like they bring it up every time. Oh, I love it. So I had to mention that because I mean, that's crazy. Like to be the defensive player, be the runner up, and then be the defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Like you made an impact at that school, and that's a hard school to go make an impact at. Princeton is, it has a lot behind it. There's a lot of big names that come out of it. So to be able to really leave your mark there on their football program, kudos to you, man. That's crazy. But then I wanted to talk about, so you are my favorite coverage linebacker in the league, but you also can lay a big smacking on someone. And a big part of that is that you took a year off in college. I believe it was when COVID canceled the season that you didn't enroll and you just spent the year doing internships.
Yeah. We a group of seniors. So like we got the news like COVID was hitting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we instantly were like, bro, like what are we gonna do? Because we were getting ready for spring ball. Like our first spring ball practice was gonna be that Saturday. And we were like excited for it and everything. And like we were like about to go to lift, and then they were like saying like things were shutting down. And so then we found out like spring ball was canceled, and then eventually, the whole ordeal. And so we all got on like a Zoom call and it was like kind of kicking it or whatever. And we were like, yo, like if you really want to play like another year, like I'm gonna play another year, but like we need to figure something out. Like we can't leave like this, because we had just went 8-2, I believe, that junior year. And or was it 9-1? I don't know. But
it was good.
It was decent, but like we wanted a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't leave like not having another ring. And so we all talked about it, and we were like, you know what, like let's figure it out. Let's make it happen. And so the first half of that year I stayed home, which was a terrible idea, but I stayed home, worked myself and stuff like that, and like worked for I want to say a commercial real estate company, and had some good experience there, made some connections, but I was missing my guys. And so I was like, all right, like, cause they were down in Texas, I went to go visit them. And I was like, man, like, I wish I could have this feeling like all the time. So then we decided to move to Nashville, and we stayed in Nashville from January till I think either May. Yeah, it was May till May. And then we moved back to New Jersey for like summer workouts. And that was a great time. That was probably one of the best times of my life, because like, just like the experiences we had and like the bond that we built, because we had other kids coming to visit us, and like it's a popular spot, especially if you're a college kid in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're popping. And so we had a lot of guys come through, like spend the weekend with us, spend a week or two. And, I feel like that led to us like winning the championship.
Dang. Well, yeah. When you are able to just strengthen your bonds as a team, even outside of football practice, outside of the school year, and to be able to do that during something that affected the entire world, like the pandemic, is like, I can't even imagine. There's not really another time where you'll get to do something like that. So the fact that you were able to is great, and definitely played a hand in getting that third ring. So during that time, at what point did you put on the 20 pounds of muscle?
At first, it came the fat, then came the muscle.
So it was a bulk, and then it was a cut.
I jumped from like, so when we first finished, I was like 215. And then by the start of that year, like when I was at home, I had gotten up to like 240.
Wow.
I think 242 was the biggest. And I was like, I am ginormous. And so then we started toning it down once like the season became closer, and like, we started hitting the weights a little harder, and then doing more like football movements to get back in the swing of things. And I trimmed down to like 230, started the season at 230, ended up at like 225. But like that balance was like the best I've ever felt.
Nice. Because when you look at, on the Princeton website, it has each year that you can see you, which I loved when you had the like high top that was bleached. Looked
Yeah.
great, man. But you went from 205 and then the next season you were 215 and then suddenly you finished off at 225. To be able to add that kind of weight, but also not lose your agility and speed and change of direction on the field is impressive. As a guy whose fiance is making protein donuts right now because I'm just trying to look good for a wedding, like it intrigued me to see that you were able to do that. So very impressive because then going into this season of the USFL, I knew Kalen Tolson was the main linebacker I knew because I had him on my show. And so I went to game one, and I remember it was in the second quarter. The Panthers were getting close to the end zone, and I don't remember who it was. Maybe Reggie or Stevie Scott came out on a pitch, and they were going towards the corner in the end zone, and you came and you laid one of the hardest hits I've seen in the USFL this season. And especially because, I'm in the stadium where it's literally like friends and family, I could hear the hit and it was crazy. So that's really when I was like, this guy, wow, okay, we need to keep watching this guy. And so when I was reading about your journey and how you were gaining the weight, it's just wild to be able to do that physically and mentally to be able to do that. But I mean, you're obviously a smart guy. So to be able to be mentally strong and everything, you're just better than us. It's okay. I get it.
Oh, shot.
For anybody who doesn't know, JT's girlfriend is off to the side. She drove down to see him, and that was her laughing right there. People are going to be watching and be like, man, he had a high-pitched laugh. What was that?
That was
But-
me.
We're having a fun time. I'm loving this. All right. So you finish up, you get that third ring at Princeton, and you go and you're getting ready for the NFL draft, and you joined the Test Football Academy for draft prep.
Mhm.
What is that like?
I was with them for like a handful of weeks because like the program was good, but like I don't know. It just didn't fit me, I guess.
Okay.
Like I was with them for a couple of weeks. Like they gave me great instruction and everything. Those are great trainers that they have out there. But I don't know. It just wasn't clicking. And plus, it was super far away from school. And at the time, I'm still a college student. My parents are back home working day to day, and it's only like one income, and like I can't like afford gas to spend, every day going out and coming back. And it was just a lot. It was a lot on my plate, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna stay at school and train with my weight trainers, and that was fun. I had a good time doing that.
Right. And then going into the draft process, what was it like preparing mentally, for that whole experience? Because coming out of the Ivy League, I'm sure it's harder to get scouts' eyes on you and stuff. It's just the nature of the beast. So what was that like?
It was interesting, to say the least. It was just like I didn't expect anything big, honestly. You learn like not to have big expectations so you aren't let down by a lot of stuff. But it was interesting, and it was hard emotionally and like mentally going through it because you felt like you were a high caliber player, but like other people don't see you like that. And so like I definitely didn't shy away from a challenge, and I never will. And so like I just saw that as motivation. Like obviously they didn't think I was good enough or fast enough or like big enough or like anything. And so like I'm like, okay, like this is fine. And then the USFL like provides like another opportunity to prove that you are. And so like I just wanted to play football again, and I'm just super grateful for that opportunity.
Well, how did you hear about the USFL? Did you watch season 1 at all? Did you see some clips on YouTube or something? Like,
Yeah.
how did you get in contact with Coach Bob?
Okay. I found out about the USFL. Like I had seen some of their games during the spring or something like that. And then also I started training with the trainer back at home James Gonzalez, and I started training with another USFL player, like a current one at the time when I wasn't, named Ralph Holly. He's like a defensive tackle for the Philly Stars, surprisingly.
Oh, I know who Ralph Holly is.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Love that kid. And we trained together pretty much like for like a year or like half a year, and became close in that. And like he was talking to me about like their process, like the USFL and all this other good stuff. He only spoke highly about the USFL too. So I was like, man, I just want a shot to like get in there. And my agent was calling around, making connections and things like that. And he found out about a camp that's called like the Hub. They they have a camp in San Diego. They had one, and I attended it. And that's another teammate of mine currently, Rodell Rockman. We were at that same camp, and we stood out to those coaches who came there. And that's how Bob heard about me, was through like a genuine friend that was at that camp, and how he heard about me and Rodell, which was awesome. And so I didn't find out that the USFL was even interested until the day before I like arrived. Honestly, I was literally, I went to the gym and I was about to play volleyball because it was Sunday. I always play volleyball on Sundays, and so it was fun.
Nice.
And before like I'm about to like warm up, whatever, I'm like, let me just check my phone to see like if my girl texted me or something like that, you know. And then my phone is blown up with like missed calls from my agent, missed calls from my parents, missed calls from her. I'm like, what is happening? Like, did someone die? Like, what's going on? So like I called my agent back, and he's like, yeah, like you have to leave for Memphis tomorrow. And I thought he was kidding at first. And he was like, yeah, the Houston Gamblers want to sign you. I was like, golly. I started instantly crying in a gym full of people. It was funny, but it was great, you know, because like you work so hard for so long, and then you don't see any results, and it gets hard sometimes mentally. But then like that also makes you mentally tough. So I was just grateful.
Well, I'm grateful that they reached out to you and that they got you over here, especially to the Gamblers, because with some New Jersey ties, some of the coaches do care about stuff like that. You could be on the Generals and just ew. I'm just kidding. I love the Generals. I love all the teams, but obviously Gamblers are my thing. So you get signed, you come in, you're great. You've played fantastic this season, man. And something that I like hearing about is, what is it like for you in Memphis with the team's culture? How have you felt that you fit in?
I feel good. Like coming in, you know, you're always a little shy, new environment and new things going on. You're trying to make the team, you're trying to learn the playbook. Got a lot of stressors, but then like you remind yourself like you're here for a reason and that you don't want to be leaving anytime soon. And so you lock in a little bit longer and you lock in a little bit harder. And but like the guys here, great guys. You like once you start to learn them and like understand who they are and like how long they've known each other, and then you start building bonds, like especially in practice and things like that. You start talking to people, socializing at lunch, dinner, you know. And then like our linebacker core is a super strong core. Like we hang out like almost every day. We always eat, like we go out to eat lunch, we hang out on the weekends, like we'll go bowling, go fishing on weekends, you know, just hanging out and just like learning about each other. And so that really speaks to the brotherhood that we have with the Houston Gamblers. Like I really appreciated that type of atmosphere, because that's the only atmosphere like I really know coming from Princeton.
Well, knowing that coaching staff, a lot of the players that I've gotten to know over the past year or so, it doesn't surprise me that, you know, it's a great team to be a part of and a great environment. And I absolutely love to hear that. I was going to ask, what is your group of guys that you kind of hang out with? Because I know that it turns into like these three dudes are always together and stuff like that. But you said the linebacker core. That's a great group of dudes. So I love to hear it. Man, it's just cool. I think the USFL is one of those interesting kind of football leagues where you get to see things that you won't see in other football leagues. You know, in the NFL, we don't get to hear that much other than kind of coach speak or player interview speak. You don't get to hear about the actual relationships that they're building and things that they're doing, about how they're bowling. For some reason in the USFL, there's a lot of bowling. I don't know why. But that's one of my favorite things is that we get to talk to you guys. And I'm very blessed that the Gamblers as a team have been very open to interviews and talking to me. So thank you and all the guys for that. But that's probably my favorite part of these leagues. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. We all bug you all the time too. So
we appreciate it too.
Well, I'm glad. Well, the last thing that I got to do is we do this thing called the rapid incoming breakdown, where I ask you 4 questions. They don't necessarily have to do with football, and you just answer with the very first thing that comes off the top of your head. Sound good?
All right.
All right. You have a lifeline next to you. If you need help with an answer, you just turn to your right and you ask her. All right. So question number 1, and she might help you with this. If there was a movie, the J.T. Tyler story, a movie all about your life, who plays you? What actor?
What's the guy's name? You're the guy. Michael B. Jordan.
Wow. I love how it's like that dude, he's in the thing, you know, with the face. And she's like, Michael B. Jordan. And you're like, exactly. Yes. Yeah. You're on the same wavelength. I love it. Michael B. Jordan. I've gotten him a couple times. I mean, the dude's in Creed. He's absolutely ripped. So like to play a football player, it makes sense, right? And he was in Friday Night Lights. So, you know, he already knows how to move on the field. Good choice. All right. Question. I like how you phoned a friend first time. Okay. Question number 2. What is your go-to song to work out to right now?
Right now, I think it would probably be I'm just gonna say probably Babyface Ray. Babyface Ray, What the Business Is is a great song.
All right. I love that question. I love hearing about what people are working out to. I keep saying I want to go through all my interviews and make a playlist.
Do it.
Just work out to it.
I'll be rocking. Honestly.
Oh, it would be interesting, kind of weird, and go really hard. But it's a fun one. I've only had, I think 2 players said they don't work out to music, and that's still like
that's
the
crazy.
Craziest thing I've ever, right? Like I was like, I don't. Okay, it's like just stopped me in my tracks. I didn't know what to say. But question number 3: who is your favorite superhero, DC or Marvel?
DC. Can I answer both? Because I got.
You can answer both. I love that.
So DC, I'm saying Batman because he's elite,
Great.
And then I do anybody down, whoever wants to argue. And then for Marvel, I'd probably say either Thor or Spider-Man.
Interesting. Why those 2?
Because he's just the god of thunder, elite. And then Spider-Man, he's just a guy. He's a dude. Like he's a real dude, you know? Like he doesn't get like the big head all the time. He doesn't like think he's better than what he is. He's like, he keeps it real, and like he's still like kind of innocent, but like he's gone through a lot, especially as like a kid or teenager, to take on like all these responsibilities. And like he manages it like well, and he like learns about like himself with like each fight. You know what I mean? It's kind of like real life.
Right.
And so like that. And he's awesome. So
he's awesome. So you're into him for like the, you know, self-discovery, maturity, like personal growth aspect. You like that he's real.
Yeah.
That's a great reason, man. That's one of the best reasons, probably the best reason I've ever gotten for a superhero. Fantastic. All right. You should have been in that, we asked AI to turn our players into their favorite superhero that the Gamblers did. You should have done that.
I should have.
Where were you?
Wasn't asked. Maybe I was, I don't even know. Maybe it was, I don't know. I just wasn't asked. Crazy.
I'm going to call Alyssa. I'm going to say, get JT on more of these. You know, be like, he needs to be a superhero. All right. And then last question number 4. Who is your biggest role model or biggest inspiration in life that isn't an athlete?
Like, can it be like an old athlete?
That isn't an athlete.
My mom.
I love that.
You know, because I was going to say my dad, but he played baseball. He played for the Tigers. He played minor leagues. Yeah, minor leagues for the Tigers. But my mom, for sure. she inspires me with everything that I do. And she was really the one who pushed me towards going to Princeton, because she always valued education more than anything, because she only got her GED. Like, she never got the opportunity to go to college because of life reasons, you know.
Mhm.
And so she's always been behind me chasing my dreams and things like that, and just being like super supportive. And so, like, every time like I'm on the field, or if I'm like feeling down, I like think about her and my parents, just like all the sacrifices they made to get me to the point where I am today. And then that just fuels me even more to like be great, and then like give back to them and like make them proud, you know? So,
You are talking to a big old mama's boy right here. So
hey,
hearing all that just warms my cold heart. So I loved that answer. That is a great answer. And I know that what is the saying that when girls are looking at a guy that they want to date, it's you see how he treats his mom.
mhm,
And so it sounds like you're a pretty good guy, and the lady sitting next to you is a lucky gal. Both
yeah.
pretty lucky. Sorry, I'm trying to embarrass her. It's fun. But great answer, man. That's awesome. I love that.
Mhm,
And like education first, like I was raised that way. So I really do have a great appreciation for that
yeah.
whole answer. Was fantastic. Thank you,
I
man. Well, JT, I don't want to take up too much of your time. So we've reached the end of the episode. And when we do that, we say that it's the end zone. And when we reach the end zone, I hand the floor over to you, because we do this to promote the league, to promote our network, but most importantly, to promote you as a person and a player. So I hand the microphone over to you. If you have a brand you're repping, a message to Gamblers fans, or just shout outs to friends and family. I know you got a lot of friends and family.
yeah.
This is your time, man. Go for it.
I just want to say a special shout out to my parents. I thank you. I love you. And all of my family back at home. I appreciate you. And shout out to Princeton University Tigers. Shout out them boys. Shout out to all of you who are all over the world. I appreciate you and your support. And yeah, go Gamblers.
Go Gamblers. Oh, I cannot wait. What's your prediction for this week against the Stallions? It's a big game.
It's a good game. It's gonna be hard fought. We're gonna, get after it with practice tomorrow and this whole week, and we'll figure that out on game day.
Oh, heck yeah. I love it. Woo! I picked y'all to win. I mean, I've kind of picked y'all to win literally every single week because, it's my team. But I feel it this week. I feel playoffs, championship. I'll be there. It's going to be great. Thank you so much, JT, for coming on. Thank you for taking time away from your night to come on my show. I've been wanting to have you on forever, and I'm very, very excited that we got to do this.
I appreciate you, brother. I had a blast. I had a great time.
I'm glad. I hope that people have fun on here, right? I don't want them to be like, oh.
Nah, you're a cool guy.
Yeah, be like, I got to go talk to Ace, this guy, man. Like, he won't leave us alone.
We're chilling. We're chilling.
All right. Well, thank you, JT. And thank you for everybody for listening in, watching Gamblers Table Talk, going into Stallions Week. This is a big one. This is a fun time. Good luck, my man. Good luck this week. Play hard. I know you will. And I'll see you next time.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'm in the big leagues, so they don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a